Robbin, thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. So this is a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. It is my desire to play 162 games, no skipped innings, no simulated games, all of them on YouTube. This is game number 62 out of 162 plus, and at plus because I hope to make the playoffs and then the World Series. As you can see, this created franchise is called the Avengers, and that is because every player on this team is created to mirror an actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as you will see if you stick with me and watch some of this broadcast. I'm wasting too much time. So the Avengers are in the National League West. They've taken the place of the San Diego Padres. They're 38-23. As you can see on the screen, they are in second place in the division behind the LA Dodgers. They're 2 games back. Let's jump into the schedule. So it's a 4-game series at San Francisco at Oracle Park. The Avengers have won the first out of the 4 games 5-4. This is a Tuesday evening in San Francisco. Let's jump into the schedule. Play game. All preceding games will be simulated. Do you want to continue? Okay. Play full game. We are the away team on the road at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. Clear skies broadcast. Scarlett Johansson. Anthony Mackie needs to sit down. We need Anthony Mackie to take a day off. He's hot, but let's not get crazy. Clark Gregg is going to play shortstop. Can Clark Gregg play shortstop? Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to switch. Clark Gregg will play second. Tom Holland will play shortstop. Holland will lead off. Chris Evans will play second. Robert Downey Jr. will bat third. Bozeman, Ruffalo, Elba, Bautista, Cheadle. Let's rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. So, in this created franchise, I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. I let the computer run the bases for me, and the difficulty setting is set to All-Star for both hitting and pitching. So, let's rock and roll. I also do play-by-play, so hopefully you can deal with my fantasy of being a broadcaster. Welcome to Oracle Park here in San Francisco, California, as the Hollywood Avengers visit the San Francisco Giants. On the mound for the Giants is Bob Feller. He's making his 13th start of the season. His record is 4-6 with a 5.22 earned run average. And leading off for the Avengers is Spider-Man Tom Holland, hitting .361, 9 homers, 43 RBIs, and he carries an 8-game hitting streak into this contest. Here comes the first pitch of the ball game. Chases a slider, strike 1. San Fran is 34-26, good for 3rd place in the National League West. This is a matchup between the 2nd and 3rd place teams in the National League Western Division. Here comes the pitch. And that's a line drive the other way, and it will head over to the 309 sign. Rounding first and heading to second is Spider-Man. It will be a leadoff double for Tom Holland. And obviously the Avengers have their first hit of the ball game. That's double number 16 from Holland. Here's the replay. Really no chance for, I believe that's Tony Gwynn out there. Next up is Chris Evans, hitting .287, 6 homers, 26 RBIs. The first Avenger. He plays Steve Rogers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Feller. Hello, Mr. Outlander. Thank you for joining the stream. Always a pleasure to see the Outlander in the stream. And that's a line drive. It will drop. No, it won't. Get back there, Spider-Man. So it's a line drive to center. And out number 1. Starting lineup for the Hollywood Avengers. Tom Holland's at short. Chris Evans is the catcher. Robert Downey Jr. is at first. The late, great Chadwick Boseman's at third. The DH is Mark Ruffalo. Idris Elba's in left, Dave Bautista's in right, Don Cheadle is in center, and batting ninth is Phil Coulson, a.k.a. Clark Gregg, playing second base. So Robert Downey Jr., .269, the first baseman steps up to the plate. Runners at second, 1 out here in the top of the first. And he fouls off the 98-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. Bob Feller is obviously a Hall of Fame legendary player. I think he played for the Cleveland Indians back in like the 50s. That's the extent of my knowledge. I know he threw 100 miles an hour. And pops it up down the left field line, out of play. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Tony Stark. the man who started it all. I don't want to hear any back talk from you, Outlander. Robert Downey Jr. is the man who started it all. Pitches low and outside. One ball and 2 strikes on Iron Man. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Pitches outside, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike Fillmore is the umpire calling balls and strikes. I don't think he's a real person. I just hope he does his job. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. So he starts out 0-2 and falls 3-2. So it's a full count on Downey Jr. On deck is Chadwick Boseman. Here comes the payoff pitch, 3-2. In the dirt, bounces but keeps it in front of him. It's a walk, so there'll be runners at first and second now with 1 away here in the top of the first. Next up is Chadwick Boseman, the late great. 345, 8 homers, 25 RBIs. We lost Chadwick in 2020 to colon cancer. May he rest in peace. May he live forever in Avengers baseball. 2 runners on, 1 away. And he pulls the curveball foul, strike 1. Line drive, foul. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Black Panther. Runner leads off second and first. 1 out. Did he check it? No, he did not. He struck him out. That's the 2nd out of the inning. First strikeout for Bob Feller. Could not check that swing. Obviously, he was out of the strike zone. Probably a slider off the plate. So next up is the Incredible Hulk. Mark Ruffalo hitting .328 on the season. Again, it's Chris Evans leading off second. Robert Downey Jr. leading off first. 2 away in the top of the first inning. No score. 12-6 curve outside. Ball 1. This is game number 62 out of a projected 162 games. Slider is high. Count is 2 balls and no strikes to Ruffalo. Feller sets and delivers. Checks his swing with the fastball. Finds the outside corner. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss at the high fastball. Could not lay off. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Top of the first, no score here at Oracle Park in San Francisco. Here comes the pitch from Feller. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And they strand 2 base runners. So it's no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left on. At the end of the half inning of play, it is the MCU nothing. San Francisco coming to bat. On the mound for the Avengers is Black Widow Scarlett Johansson. She's making her 4th start of the season. She's winless. She's 0-1 with a 3.95 earned run average. She will face Tony Gwynn to lead off this game. 303, 4 homers, 24 runs batted in. Here comes the first pitch from Scarlett. Four-seam fastball, inside corner, strike 1. Avengers are 20. Check that. They are 38 and 23. Good for 2nd place behind the Dodgers. Start of play, they were 2 games back. Gwynn fouls it off. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on the right fielder. Tony Gwynn played for the San Diego Padres in real life. He was a 3,000 hit guy and a Hall of Famer. And that is a bloop towards center. Racing in is Don Cheadle. War Machine makes the catch for out number 1. Starting lineup for the San Francisco Giants. Tony Gwynn is in right. Chipper Jones is at 3rd baseman. Jimmy Fox at 1st. Cal Ripken Jr. is the shortstop. Brett Boone is at 2nd. Eloy Jimenez is in left. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is the designated hitter. Shane Victorino is in center. And batting 9th and playing catcher, Shea Langoliers. So next up is Chipper Jones. 335, 6 homers, 24 runs batted in. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Johansson. And that's a deep drive to right. Back goes Drax the Destroyer near the line in front of the 309 sign, makes the catch for out number 2. Nice play by Dave Bautista in right field. So, base is empty, 2 away. Up steps Jimmy Fox, 320. 20 homers, 46 runs batted in. Here comes the pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. Johansson has 4 pitches. Her fastball is not all that imposing. Pitches outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Her fastball barely breaks 90 miles an hour, but she's got 3 breaking pitches. So here comes the pitch. That's a line drive the other way to right. Bautista is there to retire the side. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Scarlett Johansson here in the bottom of the first. Here at Oracle Park, there's no score. Welcome to Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Leading off the top of the second is Idris Elba, hitting .295 on the season. 4 homers, 23 runs batted in. He played Hemdahl in the Thor franchise. Pitch from Feller is low, ball 1. And it's a ground ball to the second baseman. Brett Boone throws to first in time, 1 away. Defensive alignment for the Giants in the outfield from left to right. Eloy Jimenez, Shane Victorino, and Tony Gwynn. And in the infield, you've got Chipper Jones, Cal Ripken Jr., Brett Boone, Jimmy Fox, and behind the plate is Shea Langoliers. Next up is Drax the Destroyer. Dave Bautista hitting .306, 5 homers, 26 RBIs. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. Dave is 5 for his last 11, so he's smoking hot as of late. And that ball is high. It is far. It is gonzo. That is a solo home run for Drax the Destroyer, number 6 on the season. And the Avengers take an early 1-0 lead. Let's watch the replay. Pulls it down the left field line. High and deep. So next up is Don Cheadle, War Machine, 323, 8 homers, 35 RBIs. And he pulls the slider foul for strike 1. Don Cheadle plays James Rhodes. He was the second roadie. Pitches outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Who played? Terrence Howard played the first James Rhodes in the first Iron Man movie. Pitches inside, backs him off the plate, 2 balls and 1 strike. Then starting in Iron Man 2 was Don Cheadle. He's been there ever since. Late on the fastball, lines it into the camera well. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cheadle. And he pulls it. It is high, but not overly deep. In foul territory, Gwynn is there near the right field line. He makes the catch for out number 2. The number 9 hitter, Clark Gregg. Phil Coulson, agent of Shields, hitting .225. He has 7 runs batted in. Part-time player, giving Sam Wilson a day off. Anthony Mackie pitches low and inside, ball 1. Checks his swing, but changeup floats in there for strike 1. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's a drive to left, but right there is Jimenez, who makes the catch to retire the side. So, thanks to the solo shot by Drax the Destroyer after an inning and a half of play here at Oracle Park, the Hollywood Avengers lead 1-0. So we go to the bottom of the second. Up steps Cal Ripken Jr., the shortstop, 261, 13 homers, 43 RBIs on the season. Comes the pitch from Scarlett. Fastball outside corner, strike one. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to see the Black Widow movie, which is going to come out next month on Disney Plus. I know it's going to be in the theaters, but I'm going to pay for that premiere access and watch it at home. Breaking ball outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Some of you are probably like, she's already dead. What do I need to see? Listen, I like to see that kind of stuff. Fastball in there, count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Did you see that 8 to 5 to 4 to 5 to 4 in the MLB last night, I think? No, I did not see it. It sounds pretty wild. Here comes the pitch. I did not see it. And he slaps the knuckleball foul. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ripken. Jams him inside, fouls it upstairs behind home plate. And we'll do it again. Ground ball. Second baseman. Pitcher covering. Nice job by Scarlett Johansson to get over there at first. Defensive alignment for the Avengers in the outfield from left to right. You got Idris Elba, Don Cheadle, and Dave Bautista. And in the infield, Chadwick Boseman, Tom Holland, Clark Gregg playing second base today. Robert Downey Jr. at first with Chris Evans behind home plate. The DH is Mark Ruffalo. So next up is the second baseman, Brett Boone. Brett's hitting .286. He also has 20 homers. And he has 50 runs batted in. Fastball outside corner, strike one. The juice is loose. Brett Boone played for the Seattle Mariners in real life in the 1990s during the steroid boom. I'm not mentioning any names except Brett Boone's. Swing and a miss, the slider. Quickly, Johansson is out in front. No balls and 2 strikes on Brett. Ground ball through the box into center field. It's a 1-out single for Boone. And I believe San Fran has their first hit of the ball game. Here's the replay. Next up is Eloy Jimenez, the left fielder, hitting .284, 8 homers, 29 runs batted in. Pops it up, shallow left field. Idris Elba is there. He makes the catch for out number 2. MCU leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. So the DH Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is hitting .291. He has 15 homers and 43 runs batted in. Drive to right. Drax is there. He makes the catch to retire the side. So it's another easy inning for Scarlett Johansson. The end of 2 innings of play. It's 1-0 MCU. So we go to the top of the third. The lineup turns over for the Avengers. Tom Holland doubled in his first at-bat. He's up there for his second plate appearance against Bob Feller. And that's a line drive to the shortstop. Out number 1. Hit it right on the nose, but right at Cal Ripken Jr. for the out. So next up is Chris Evans. He lined out in the first himself, is 0 for 1. 1 out here in the top of the third. And that is a line drive headed towards the left center field gap. It will drop in there for a hit. Big turn at first. He will hold. So it's a 1-out single for the original Captain America, Steve Rogers. Here's the replay. Welcome to the stream. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. This is Avengers Baseball. Next up is Robert Downey Jr. Walked in the first, no official at bat. Fastball is just below the knees for ball 1. Chris Evans leads off first. 1 out here in the third. Here comes a pitch from Feller. And he hits a drive to right at the warning track. Tony Gwynn makes the catch for out number 2. Hit it on the nose, but didn't get enough air under it. Line drive right to Tony Gwynn in right field. Next up is Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, who struck out in the first. 2 away here in the top of the third. Runner leads off first. Big lead for Chris Evans. And he skies it to right. Again, in front of the warning track is Gwynn, who makes the catch to retire the side. Quick inning for Bob Feller. After 2.5, it's 1-0 Avengers. So we go to the bottom of the third. Center fielder Shane Victorino steps up to the plate. Switch hitter batting from the left side. He's hitting .320 on the season. Here comes the pitch from Scarlett. Fouls it off, strike 1. Shane's WAR is 42 over the course of his career. WAR means wins above replacement. Hard stat to explain. That's a pop-up in the infield. Chadwick makes the catch on the third base grass. Is 1 away. Nice play by T'Challa. Wins above replacement. Hard to explain. At least without a chalkboard or a PowerPoint presentation. So batting ninth for the San Francisco Giants is Shea Langoliers. The catcher is hitting .237, 5 homers, 22 runs batted in, 1 out, bases empty here in the bottom of the third. Fouls it off, strike 1. Swing and a miss over the top of the slider. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Langoliers. Here comes the pitch. Fastball inside off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just misses with the slider off the plate. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's a bloop down the right field line. Racing in is Drax the Destroyer. Bautista makes the catch. Nice running play for the second out.
The right fielder, number 19.
So the lineup turns over for the Giants. Tony Gwynn steps up. He flew out in the first. He's 1 for 5 in this 4-game series so far. This is the second game of a 4-game set. The Avengers won the first game of this 4-game set 5-4 yesterday. That's a line drive on the first pitch to left. Bautista, no, check that. Idris Elba is there to make the catch and retire the side. End of 3 innings of play. Score is still 1-0 Avengers. So we go to the top of the 4th. Up steps the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, 0 for 1. Mark leads the team in homers and RBIs. And that's a line drive headed towards the left center field gap, and I don't think he's going to make it. He's not. It's 1 hop off the wall. Rounding first and heading to second is Ruffalo. He's going to be in there with a leadoff double here in the top of the 4th. That's his 12th double of the season. Doubles leaders on the Avengers. Tom Holland leads the team with 16. Spider-Man has 16. Drax has 15. Don Cheadle, War Machine, has 14. Mackey's 13. And obviously, Mark Ruffalo's got 12. So Idris Elba's up. He's 0 for 1. Runner at scoring position at second base. And that's a hard ground ball to the shortstop. He holds the runner, throws to first in time, 1 away. So Elba fails to move the runner to third. That was not good. Road to the show report, I could care less. We're going to press that button. Next up is Drax the Destroyer, Dave Bautista, who had a solo homer in the second inning. Pitches inside, ball 1. He's responsible for the only run on the scoreboard. He's got a runner in scoring position, Ruffalo at second, with 1 away. And he pulls the fastball foul down the left field line for strike 1. Dave is hitting .333 with runners in scoring position, so he's comfortable with Ruffalo at second. Pitch is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. And that's a line drive headed towards the gap. It's got a chance. That ball is gonzo. It's a 2-run home run for Dave Bautista, his second of the ball game, number 7 on the season. And just like that, the Avengers now have a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 4th. Here's a replay. Looked like it might be a double off the wall, but then it just took off. Balls are flying out of Oracle Park today. So next up is Don Cheadle, 0 for 1.
Now back, number 10.
Pitches inside off the plate, ball 1. Don's hitting .321 on the season. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side. And he hits it the other way to Eloy Jimenez, who barely has to move and left. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, number 85.
So next up is Clark Gregg. Phil Coulson, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., lined out in the second inning. This is his second at-bat. 2 outs, bases empty. Chases a slider high, strike 1. Jams him, and it's caught on the line by Jimmy Fox at first base to retire the side. So Dave Bautista hits a 2-run homer, and after 3.5 innings of play, it's the Avengers 3, the Giants nothing. Oh yeah! So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Up steps Chipper Jones, third baseman. Chipper is, if he's not currently a Hall of Famer, I have no idea. I know he will be one day. He has, I believe, 500-plus homers at third base for the Atlanta Braves during his career. Here comes a pitch from Scarlett. Slider inside corner, strike 1. He had almost 3,000 hits in his career. Hard ground ball to first, backhanded by Tony Stark. He'll take it himself for out number 1. Nice play by Robert Downey Jr. Pitch speed comparison brought to you by the Outlander Show. As you can see, Bob Feller has hit triple digits. He's winning that contest 100-91. But Scarlett Johansson is outdueling him. The game is 3-0 Avengers, so I'd rather be Scarlett. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Up steps Jimmy Fox, who flew out in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Here comes the pitch. In there, strike 1. Jimmy's 8 for his last 23. That's a .348 clip. Line drive slicing, out of play, strike 2. Count is 0-2 on Fox. And that's a line drive right at Idris Elba for the second out. Nice play by Hemdahl in left.
The batter, the shortstop, Cal.
So with 2 away and bases empty here in the bottom of the 4th, Cal Ripken steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball down the third base line, past the diving attempt by Chadwick. Elba will get it in quickly and hold him to a single, so it's a 2-out single for Cal Ripken Jr. And the inning will continue for the Giants. So next up with 2 outs is Brett Boone, singled in his first at-bat. Here comes the pitch. Pops it up the elevator shaft. Chris Evans jumps out of the crouch and behind home plate makes the catch to retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on at the end of 4. It's the Hollywood Avengers 3, San Francisco Giants nothing. So we go to the top of the 5th. Up steps Tom Holland, who's 1 for 2 with a double today.
The shortstop, Tom Holland.
That is a ground ball to the first baseman. He'll take it himself. Foot race to the bag. And Fox wins for out number 1.
Now batting, catcher, Chris.
Next up is Chris Evans, who's 1 for 2 with a single. comes the pitch from Feller. And this is a deep drive towards the right center field gap, but there's a lot of real estate out there. On the edge of the warning track, Gwynn makes the catch for out number 2. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th.
Now batting, number 12.
So next up with 2 outs is Robert Downey Jr. He walked in the first. Officially, he's 0 for 1 today. Fastball outside, 98 on the radar gun. Ball 1. No, check that. It was called a strike by the home plate umpire. My goodness. Pitch is low, so instead of being 2-0, the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Checks swing. That one arguably might have been a better pitch. He calls it a ball, so it's 2-1. My goodness. Umpires all over the place this at bat. He aligns it down the right field line, out of play. The count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 5th, 3-0 lead for the MCU. Here's the pitch. Outside, and the count will go full, 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And the side is retired. Just flat missed it. So after 4.5, it's the MCU leading 3-0. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, and we go to the dugout to Heidi Watney, our sideline reporter, but unfortunately there's something wrong with her microphone. So we're going to have to cut away. Go to the home plate where Eloy Jimenez is stepping up to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 5th. He's 0 for 1. Fastball in there, strike 1. Eloy is 9 for his last 26. That's a .346 average over his last 7 games. Swing and a miss out in front of the slider. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Scarlett Johansson has been on the money today. She's been on point. Her bugaboo this season has been the solo homer. She hasn't given up any yet, obviously. It's a shutout here in the bottom of the 5th. Fouls it off. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Jimenez. And he fouls off the knuckleball back behind home plate, and we'll do it again. So the Avengers are 38-23. At the start of today's ball game, they were 2 games behind the LA Dodgers in the National League West. Swing and a miss, struck him out on the slider. There's 1 away. That's her first strikeout of the game. ERA leaders in the National League entering play. The Dodgers and the Avengers, the first and second place teams, are neck and neck with team ERA, as you can see. So 1 away, bottom of the 5th. Up steps the DH Gurriel Jr., who's 0 for 1. Hard ground ball down the third base line. It is a foul ball. Strike 1. Swing and a miss out in front of the slider. Strike 2. Misses inside with the 2-seam fastball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if baseball is not your thing. Please check out some of the other playlists on the channel. Lot of variety. Here comes the pitch from Johansson. Hard ground ball to the first baseman. Tony Stark will take it himself for the 2nd out.
Now batter.
So next up is Shane Victorino, who's 0 for 1 with a pop out in the 3rd inning. Comes the pitch from Johansson. And that is a bloop base hit to center field. It's a 2-out single for Shane Victorino, and he is 1 for 2. He's going for 2nd, and he's going to be out by a mile. He just ran them out of that inning. So 5 innings complete. It's now an official ball game, ladies and gentlemen. The end of 5. It's 3-0 Avengers. So we go to the top of the 6th. Up steps Chadwick Boseman. 0 for 2 today.
The third baseman,
Out in front of the slider, swing and a miss for strike one. Two right-handers are warming in the bullpen for the Giants. Checks his swing, but the curveball is outside. Nick Whitgren and Cooper Casad warming, getting loose in the bullpen for the San Francisco Giants. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball's outside, 2-1. Checks his swing, pitches outside, hitters count 3 balls and 1 strike to T'Challa. Feller deals. 100-mile-an-hour fastball, inside corner, count will go full, 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. And he fouls off what could have been ball 4. High fastball, count will remain 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that's a line drive caught by the third baseman. Chipper Jones makes the play for the first out here in the top of the 6th. Nice reaction play. So next up is Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk. It's 1 for 2 with the double. It's a 3-0 lead for the MCU here in the top of the 6th. Breaking ball inside, ball 1. And that is a slicing ball down the right field line. It is out of play. Strike 1. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked like it might drop in that right field corner, but foul ball. Inside corner fastball, count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 98 on the radar gun here in the 6th inning. Fastball inside, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mark leads the team with 12 homers. Sliders outside, count goes full, 3-2. Idris Elba is on deck. And it is a jam shot to center. On the warning track, Shane Victorino makes the catch for out number 2. Just missed it. So 2 outs, bases empty. Up steps Idris Elba, who's grounded out twice. He is 0 for 2 today. Jams him, pops it up. Caught by the pitcher. He said, "I'll take it myself." It's at 1-2-3 inning for Bob Feller. And at the end of 6, no, check that. After 5.5 innings, it is the Avengers with a 3-0 lead. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Number 9 hitter Shea Langoliers steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Swing and a miss. No, check that. Fouls it off for strike 1. Grounds it to the right side. Fielded by Clark Gregg. Throws to first. In time. 1 away. So the lineup turns over for the Giants as Tony Gwynn steps up to the plate again. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. His average is right at the 300 mark. Here comes the pitch. And that's a line drive towards the left center field gap. Racing over is War Machine to make the catch. Covered a lot of real estate for out number 2. Nice play by Don Cheadle, center field. For a moment there, I wasn't sure whether or not they were going to get it. So 2 outs, bases empty for Chipper Jones, who's 1 for 6 in the series. He does not have a hit today. And he pops it up, left side, out of play, strike 1. And he grounds it up the third base line for strike 2. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Chipper. 3-0 lead for the Avengers here in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes the pitch. Fouls it off. We'll do it again. And he gets a piece of the 2-seam fastball. The count will remain no balls and 2 strikes on Chipper Jones. Froze him with the high breaking ball to retire the side. 6 shutout innings for Scarlett Johansson. At the end of 6, it's 3-0 Avengers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So,
your attention please.
top of the 7th, in relief of Bob Feller is Nick Whitgren, making his 30th appearance out of the bullpen. Record is 3-2 with a 3.28 earned run average. And he will face Dave Bautista, who has 2 home runs today, including this one in the 4th. His second of 2 homers, 2-run shot to give the Avengers a 3-0 lead. So, will he hit his 3rd homer of the game? Fastball high, ball 1. Drax the Destroyer. Nothing gets over my head, I'll catch it. And that is a bouncing ground ball, backhanded by the second baseman. Jump throw in time. Nice play by Brett Boone for out number 1 here in the top of the 7th.
The batter, number 10.
Let's watch the replay. Nice angle. Backhands it. He's running towards second. Backhands it. 1, 2, and then jump throw in time for the first out. So next up is Don Cheadle. Don is 0 for 2. Again, the bullpen is active for the Giants. Ground ball to the second baseman. Easier play this time. Throws to first. 2 quick outs here in the 7th for the Giants. So the number 9 hitter, Clark Gregg, is 0 for 2. He steps up to the plate. And he pops it upstairs behind home plate for strike 1. And it is a lazy fly ball to center. Easy play for Shane Victorino to retire the side. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Whitgren. Get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. This ball game is a 3-0 lead for the Avengers. So going to the bottom of the 7th, Cal Ripken. No, check that. That's Jimmy Fox. He's 0 for 2. Scarlett's still out there. Obviously, she's going for the shutout. Fastball in there, strike 1. Only 88 miles an hour. Must be frustrating for these hitters that they can't seem to get a solid hit on this one. Swing and a miss on the slider. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. I mean, you face guys that throw in the upper 90s, and then swing and a miss struck him out, way out in front of the slider for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. That's only her 3rd strikeout of the game. But it must be frustrating. So now is Cal Ripken Jr. with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. He's 1 for 2 with a single. That's a deep drive to center. Back goes War Machine to the track. He makes the catch for out number 2. So next up with 2 outs is Brett Boone. 1 for 2 with a single today. Here comes a pitch from Johansson. Breaking ball in there, strike 1. That looked like a fat pitch. Bet he wishes he could have that one back. Knuckleball floats up there for strike 2. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch count here in the 7th, only 57 pitches. She has been dominant. Slider misses low, 1-2. Fastball just off the plate. Count evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes. I play the game on All-Star, so once a game I like to go to the options and check the gameplay and show that the hitting difficulty is set to All-Star and the pitching difficulty is set to All-Star. I don't have to do it, but I like to do it once a game just for accountability's sake. So it's a 3-0 lead for the MCU here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs, bases empty, 2-2 lead, 2-2 count on Brett Boone, pardon me. And he's late on it. Slices down to the right field line in foul territory. Bautista makes the catch to retire the side. 7 shutout innings for Scarlett Johansson. It's a 3-0 lead for the Avengers. Leading off the top of the 8th is Tom Holland. He's 1 for 3 with a double today. Out in front of the changeup, strike 1. That's a deep drive towards the left center field gap, back to the track. Eloy makes the catch right in front of the warning track for out number 1. Just died out there. Starter comparison. Obviously, Scarlett is still out there pitching a shutout, so she wins this comparison with Bob Feller. Bob pitched a decent game, just not good enough to win. Right now, he is in line for the loss. Next up is Chris Evans. He's 1 for 3 with a single today. Batting from the left side against the righty Whitgren. Fastball low, ball 1. Attendance 34,512 here at Oracle Park. It's not a sellout. And he pops it up down the right field line. Waiting for it is Tony Gwynn. He makes the catch for out number 2. I find it hard to believe that if the actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe were to play a charity baseball game against major leaguers, that they would not have a sellout. So, boggles the mind. 2 away here in the top of the 8th. Robert Downey Jr. walked today, but officially he is 0 for 2. Steps up to the plate. Fastball outside, ball 1. Checks his swing, pitches low, 2 balls and no strikes on Tony Stark. And he pulls the changeup foul. Count is 2-1. And that's a line drive to center, but right at Shane Victorino, who makes the catch to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still a 3-0 lead for the MCU. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. This is Avengers Baseball. So, we go to the bottom of the 8th. Eloy Jimenez, 0 for 2, facing Scarlett Johansson for the 3rd time. Ground ball to the shortstop. Tom Holland fields, fires, 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 away. Next up is Gurriel Jr., who's 0 for 5 in this series, 0 for 2 today. Fastball in there, strike 1. And he fouls off the knuckler. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Here we are in the bottom of the 8th, and she's about to throw her 64th pitch. She has been like a surgeon up there on the mound. But there was the bugaboo. It is high and deep and gone, and the shutout is now gone. That's a solo shot for Lourdes Gurriel Jr., number 16 on the season, and just like that, the score is 3-1 Avengers here in the bottom of the 8th. So it's a 2-run ball game. And I'm sure the bullpen will now start to get active now that the shutout is gone. Here's the replay. Just over that left field fence. Next up is Shane Victorino. Let's go to the manager's office of the bullpen. And I would say that we'll get Sam Jackson warm and Stan Lee warm. These are the 2 guys we can need warm in the bullpen. So here comes the pitch to Shane, who's 1 for 2. And that is a lazy pop-up to center field. There is War Machine. He makes the catch for the 2nd out. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. 3-1 lead for the Avengers. Next up is the catcher, Shea Langoliers, who's 0 for 2. This may be her last batter no matter what. Breaking ball in there, strike one. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Langoliers. And that's a line drive to right. Bautista is there to make the catch and retire the side. But solo home run by Lourdes Gurriel Jr. puts them on the scoreboard at the end of 8 innings of play. It's the Avengers 3, the Giants 1. So as we go to the top of the 9th, Cooper Casad comes in to pitch. He's 3-0 with a 6.87 earned run average. And before Chadwick Boseman steps to the plate, we're going to go to the bullpen, and we're going to sit down Stan Lee. We're going to sit down Sam Jackson, and we're going to bring Jeremy Renner in to close this game. He's going to warm him up. Jeremy Renner is going to pitch the 9th, no matter what. Well, unless they score like 12 runs, in which case Scarlett Johansson will come in and pitch. Checks his swing, fastball inside corner, strike one. Chadwick is 0 for 3 today. Casad sets and delivers.
Nope.
Fastball outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Ball, 1 strike.
And that's a line drive, base hit to center field. And Black Panther is 1 for 4 today. So that's the leadoff man is on for the Avengers here in the top of the 9th. He has speed, so they have to keep an eye on him. Here's the replay. Line drive the other way. So next up is the Incredible Hulk. Bullpen is still active for the Giants. Mark Ruffalo is 1 for 3 with a double today. And he grounds it to third, over to second for 1. Back to first, a double play. Round the horn, 5-4-3, and just like that, the bases are empty and there are 2 outs. Here's the replay. So it is Chipper Jones to Brett Boone, over to Jimmy Fox. So next up is Idris Elba, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. He's 0 for 3. That's a line drive, base hit down the left field line. He cuts it off. Oh, he's going for second. To throw to second is up the line. Offline, better yet. So it's a 2-out double for Idris Elba, his 13th of the season. And they have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs now. That's an important insurance run in scoring position. But they need a 2-out hit to score him. So, but up next is Drax the Destroyer, who has 2 home runs today. Let's see what he can do. Fouls off the fastball upstairs for strike 1. 2 for 3, 2 homers in today's game. It's number 6 and number 7 on the season. Curveball outside, count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Curveball finds the corner. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. My mom and dad dropped off my son, so I'm back. What did I miss? You didn't miss much. You missed. Checks his swing in the dirt, blocked nicely by the catcher, Langoliers. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 9th, 3-1 lead for the MCU. On the back of the hitter up there now, Dave Bautista with 2 homers. Fouls it off. Bautista hit a solo shot and a 2-run homer to give the MCU at that time a 3-0 lead. Here comes the pitch. Pitch is high. Count will go full, 3-2. War Machine, Don Cheadle is on deck. Runner leads off second. Here comes the payoff pitch from Cooper Casad. Did he check it? Yes, he did. So that's ball 4, and there'll be 2 runners on now with 2 outs. Runners will be at first and second. for Don Cheadle. Here's the show motion instead of the slow motion. And yeah, I guess he didn't break his wrists, so I guess. Scarlett Johansson is going for her first victory of the season. She's pitched 8 innings, gave up 1 run, so she's been masterful. So Don Cheadle is up there. Checks his swing, fastball in there, strike 1. Don is 0 for 3, but he's hitting .370 with runners in scoring position. So let's see what happens. Swing and a miss. He's down 2 strikes already. 0 and 2. Fastball low. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rhodes. James Rhodes. Inside, off the plate. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Top of the 9th. MCU leads 3-1. Here's the pitch from Casad. Outside corner, full count. The runners will be in motion. On deck is Clark Gregg. I wonder if he's going to pitch around Cheadle to face Gregg. Strike 3 called, outside corner, froze him. And the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the 9th with a 2-run advantage. Last licks for the San Francisco Giants. They will face Hawkeye. Do you want to change pitchers? Yes, I do. Hawkeye comes in. He's pitched in 18 games. His record is 0-2, but he has 13 saves in 15 save opportunities, 26 strikeouts, and only 15 innings pitched. Leading off is Tony Gwynn. Tony is 0 for 3 today. Fastball inside corner, strike 1. Triple digits on the radar gun. 100 miles an hour. And that's a line drive. Racing toward forward is Cheadle to make the catch for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. Nice play by War Machine in center field. The line for Scarlett Johansson, 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run on the solo home run from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. No walks, 3 strikeouts. In line for the win. It will be her first victory of the season, should Jeremy Renner hold the lead. Next up, with 1 out, is Chipper Jones, who's 0 for 3. Fastball high, ball 1. Swing and a miss. It's a 2-seam fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Just misses with the slider. I don't know where it missed. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. It looked like it was right down the middle, but according to the home plate umpire, it was ball. Fouls off the fastball. Count evens at 2-2. Inside corner, struck him out looking. There's 2 away. And I almost called them the New York Giants. What a Freudian slip that is. The San Francisco Giants are down to their final out here in the 2nd game of a 4-game set. So, representing the final out of the game is Jimmy Fox, who's 0 for 3 today. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss at the fastball. Again, 100 miles an hour on the radar gun. Triple digits. He is Hawkeye. Fouls off the slider, and the Giants are down to their final strike. Fouls off the 2-seamer. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Fastball's high, checks his swing. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck is Cal Ripken Jr. They need a base runner to get the tying runner to the plate here in the 9th. Grounds it up the first base line, fielded by Tony Stark. He races to the bag, makes the step. Side retired, ball game over. Avengers win 3-1. So the Avengers win this first 2 games of this 4-game series on the road at Oracle Park. They go 39-23 on the season. That is the first win of the season for Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. She's now 1-3. Nice ending. Thank you very much. Good game. I do appreciate it. Mr. Outlander, thank you for supporting the stream, for making your comments. For those of you that are unaware, the Outlander has a great YouTube channel of his own. I would please check it out. It's awesome. Awesome. Great YouTube channel. So we go to the scoreboard here at Oracle Park. Hollywood Avengers, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The San Francisco Giants, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. Again, Scarlett Johansson gets her first win of the season on the mound. Bob Feller gets the loss. Jeremy Renner gets save number 14 on the season. And the player of the game was Dave Bautista, Drax the Destroyer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He went 2 for 3 with 2 homers today. He was responsible for all 3 runs in this ball game. And this has been a broadcast of Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And again, if you don't like baseball, why would you be watching this long if you don't like baseball? But, argument's sake, if you don't like baseball, please check out my other YouTube channels. Not YouTube channels, check that, my YouTube playlists. Lots of other video games, not just sport games, and also tabletop role-playing. Dungeons and Dragons every Monday night. Well, we try to play every Monday night, schedules permitting. Anyway, the final here at Oracle Park. The Hollywood Avengers win 3-1. See you again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.